So this conversation comes up based on a comment I saw a long time ago saying that Plutia was a Mary Sue character. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term Mary Sue, it's an idealized and seemingly perfect fictional character, a young or low-ranked person who saves the day through unrealistic abilities. Often this character is recognized as an author insert or wish fulfillment. In other words, a plot device. You could say like the characters have a very difficult situation, but as long as this certain character is here, you automatically know that the day is going to be saved. In other words, did Plutia cheapen the plot of Victory/Rebirth 3? And when I say Plutia, I mean Iris Heart. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my answer right now. No, she didn't. And here's why. Plutia is not a Mary Sue character, but I would definitely say she was the main character of Victory/Rebirth 3. Who was the one who got the CPU memories for Neptune and Noir?
Those thingies you're holding? What are they called again? They're, those things, right? You know, the things Noir and Neppy really, really want?
Before that, you two, do you see what I have?
Those are... Oh, the CPU memories or whatever.
Stole them back by force? What a barbaric CPU.
Who was the one who got Blonde to calm down when she was at her low?
But I can't transform.
I figured as much. After that last battle, I doubt anyone is left to power you with their faith. Without the faith of your people, you are nothing. The power of a CPU seems so fickle and inconvenient.
So my darling, shy little blonde can't transform.
What the hell is this situation I've gotten myself in? I'm nothing but dead weight, and it's nobody's fault but mine.
Oh, are you gonna pout and cry? Gonna hiccup and bawl again? You're such a crybaby, Blondie.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. But this situation's too frustrating.
Right? How about this, Blondie?
What? You got some kind of plan?
I will put my faith in you. I'll believe in the stubborn, prideful, rude blonde who is actually a cute little crybaby.
What the hell? Are you trying to lift my spirits or put me down?
Neptune, is that even possible?
I'm not sure, but... Blonde, I will put my faith in you too. I know that you are a dependable friend. Now you, Noir.
Huh? Me? Well, as my upperclassman of sorts, maybe I'll put some faith in you. Just a tiny bit.
I feel a little bit of power. It's small, but it's enough to... Transform! I did it!
Who was the one who first met Vert and Louis?
Those girls. I can't believe they get lost like this. How? So this is Louis? It's so interesting.
I see. Interesting. This is what the largest nation looks like. The streets of Louis are fascinating.
Huh?
Oh? Do you have some business with me? Perhaps I have some tea frozen on my face?
And who was the one who finally quelled Ray's power?
Dark power came out! It's a lot smaller now, but it could still pose a threat.
Plutia, can you really do something about this?
Of course I can. This tiny lump of nothingness can't possibly refuse to obey my command.
Give up!
I know! This power might be a bit too big for me is all!
Plutie, If it's too much for you to handle alone, then I'll
help you too, Plutia.
What? You of all people should back the hell off!
Right. If you get that power again, you might go crazy.
It'll be fine. It was my power to begin with. Besides, I've now made companions and have met kind CPUs like you. So I'm sure that I can.
It was Plutia. Those were actions normally reserved for Neptune.
So I bring to you Noir.
Lucky as usual. It's like you're scripted to always get the best results.
But Nep did make it easy for us.
Behold, the power of destiny on the side of the main character.
But instead, Plutia was the one who was taking over the role as the main character. In fact, if you take out Neptune and Nepgear, not much would change. Noir would still become a CPU, she would still clash with Blonde and go to the Wii, Plutia would still meet Vert, Pishi, Iof, and Compa, Pishi would still become a CPU, and the 7 Sages would still exist. So basically, Neptune and Nepgear were just watchers, onlookers on the sidelines. They were just a part of the story. And that's a big part of why I think Rebirth 3's story explains Rebirth 2's past. Because you still have the same story without Neptune and Nepgear, therefore implying that without their interference, the time would flow virtually the same. And if you watch my previous video about my theory about Rebirth 3 being Rebirth 2's past, I explain that in more further detail. Now, the reason why people think Plutia is a Mary Sue character is because she's a dominatrix. In the game, the other CPUs seem scared of her and often do what she says without question. However, that doesn't mean Plutia is stronger than all of them. At the very least, Purple Heart does not seem scared of Plutia.
Aw, what a stimulating expression. If you make that face, I might not be able to hold my urges back.
Plutie, enough is enough!
Betrayed us, and you lost. You have no right to complain about whatever happens to you.
I'm so sorry. I really am. Please save me, Neptune!
Enough already, Plutie. She had no ill intentions. Nowhere near you two.
Oh, did my little Neppy just say something rude? I missed it.
Please stop wrapping me up in more arguments.
I'm not. Wrapping up, though. Isn't that where we twist our arms and legs together? Aw, come on. Why not wrap yourself up with me? Or can I treat you as my present to unwrap?
Knock it off! If you don't, I'm going to get angry.
And even Nepgear has some sort of backbone to Plutia sometimes as well.
She's forgotten about me too. Such a naughty little girl.
Plutia, no! You absolutely can't do anything to a child!
You didn't even let me finish.
The thing about Plutia is that if you do lose against her, you're in a world of hurt. People always say that if they were to fight Blonde or Plutia, they will always prefer Blonde because they're scared of Plutia. Blonde is definitely more volatile than Plutia. But Plutia, after she defeats you, she doesn't just defeat you. She leaves a permanent scar on you so that you are afraid to be in her presence whenever you see her again, as if when we saw for R4. Neptune and Nepgear also tend to take the path of least resistance, so in their mind it's like, why bother fighting Plutia when they can just stay on her good side? But I actually think that if Plutia and Neptune were to fight, Neptune would be able to take Plutia down. And it's not just that. Every person that they fought in the series, it's never been a one-on-one situation. There's only one case where Plutia actually beat another CPU, and that was Noir. After she came to them complaining about Blonde, Plutia got tired of it, transformed, and took an untransformed Noir into a closet. Other than that, it's mainly been an outpowering kind of thing, where even with R4, it was still Plutia, Neptune, and Noir who fought her as a team.
Far from top condition, but an enemy of her caliber is a non-issue.
The climax already? You were more of a lightweight than you led me to believe.
You accursed, triple-teaming fools! Do you find it heroic to battle an enemy 3 against 1?
What's the loser barking about now?
I remember she said something about destroying us all right here.
It was never Plutia by herself soloing. Where people get it confused is when enemies that reappear fear her. And they think, oh, that cheapens the plot. No, that doesn't cheapen the plot. That's what Plutia does. It's the same kind of thing as if you're fighting an enemy and defeating it for good. Imagine if Nepgear, right when she first fought Underling, she beat her and then put her in a jail cell. That would solve a lot of Nepgear's future problems in the future, but Nepgear just didn't do that. She actually says, I'll spare your life now if you leave in peace. Like, that wouldn't be the smart thing to do. Plutia actually does the smart thing and makes sure that the enemies that they defeat, they actually stay down. And finally, if Plutia really was a Mary Sue character, then how come she couldn't beat Peachy?
Here I go!
We won't make it!
That was a big boom! That was fun. Now I'm tired. Huh? Where'd they go? Guess I defeated them. Yay! I did it! Mommy and Daddy are gonna praise me for this. Ow, 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 ow! Speak up if you're dead or whatever.
We're alive. Something like that couldn't possibly do us in, after all.
Yeah, I'm okay. Somehow. We're the losers today.
If Plutia was the type of character who would suddenly solve all the plot's problems, then they would not have lost to Peachy for 10 years. And they also would not have lost to Mr. Bad's daughters for that long as well.
Damn! This is no laughing matter. What was with that stupid old man? He was abducting children and turning them into monsters!
It's so terrible. It was too much to bear.
We will not be able to harm those creatures should we run into them again.
Then why did you all get in my way?
So she was very much still a part of the plot. They couldn't even get out of Blonde's jail cell without Vert's help. And there are many other times where even Blonde and Vert have done things that have made people not rebel against them in the past. Plutia just does it a lot more frequently because that's her thing. She's a dominatrix. She has to be the one in control. And it's much more easier to just say, alright, fine, we'll just do whatever you do, than having to fight somebody who's could be at your level, is most likely at your level, and if they beat you, will also torture you after they beat you. Instead of doing that, it's a lot easier to just say, well, I mean, I sort of agree with this action, so yeah, why don't we just go with that? It's a lot easier than trying to have to fight them. But by looking at this as Plutia is the main character, then it makes sense. Just how Neptune was the one who united Noir, Blonde, and Vert in Rebirth 1, and how Nepgear was the one who united Uni, Rom, and Ram in Rebirth 2, Plutia was the one who united the CPUs in her nation. I think the main thing is that they didn't want to say Plutia was the main character because of what happened with Nepgear in Mark 2/Rebirth 2. Nepgear was not very liked as a main character, so in here they're thinking, okay, let's have Neptune there, but let's just have her on the sidelines, let's just have her watching. And Therefore, we can have Plutia doing main character things, but she won't be classified as the main character. I mean, Plutia was even in all of the endings in Rebirth 3/Victory along with Neptune and Nepgear. Nobody else really had that opportunity. So in short, I don't think Plutia was at all a Mary Sue character because she never did anything that was Mary Sue-esque. They're just confusing her with the dominatrix. But that's just my thoughts. What are yours? Post them down in the comments below. Do you think Plutia was really the main character of Rebirth 3? And I will see you guys next time.